temperatures in Buffalo on Sunday night. But guess what? The Baltimore Ravens are about to bring the heat. Good evening, everyone. Hendo, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening. I am well and yourself.
I am doing just fine. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Thank you all for joining the show. We are getting ready to give you our full breakdown of the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. Woo! I can hardly wait. Sunday night, can't get here quick enough. I see you, 86 Ghosts. Thank you for being here. All right, so let's just dive in. Hendo, both teams are different. We played each other week 4 in the regular season. To me, that's out the window now. It is. The focus now is we are a different team. They are a different team. And last game we saw, we'll start with our offensive line. Our offense going up against their defense. And, the last game that we played, the last game we played, we saw additional offensive line help and the use of heavier personnel, 2 tight end sets. We saw that last week against the Steelers, kind of to make up for Zay Flowers' absence. And do you think that without Zay Flowers, the Ravens should continue with that kind of heavier personnel set to kind of make up for Zay?
Might as well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, the Steelers, up until last week, people lauded them for having one of the better defenses in the league, one of the defenses that has figured Lamar Jackson out for the majority of his career. But of course, now the narrative is they were in a tailspin and they're not as good as people thought. It worked against them. It was a playoff game. It was against a divisional opponent, and we bludgeoned them for 299 yards. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. And the Buffalo Bills also, they struggle versus the run. We saw that in week 4. And I understand people are saying they're a different team, we're a different team. You can't go back into week 4. And if the Ravens had lost, this would be the only key talking point now that the Bills beat the Ravens, because Bills fans are still bringing up the fact that in 2020 they beat us in a playoff game. So if you can go back 5 years, why can't we go back 17 weeks?
Speak on it. Speak on it. We also saw in the last game against the Steelers, we had some additional, help coming in from Josh Johnson. We even saw a Ben Cleveland sighting. Going up against this Buffalo Bills front, right? Their defensive front. Do you think we need to make any other adjustments in terms of their ability to kind of apply pressure, get after the quarterback? Do you think we need to do anything different to kind of combat that?
I mean, if there is any slight adjustment that needs to be made, it may be putting a spy and chipping Von Miller. He seems to be a lot healthier than he was in week 4, and he's producing in spurts like the old Von Miller. So as far as pass rush goes, that's the only concern that I have. I know that they're talking about Matt Milano's back, Ed Oliver is back, but he's been inconsistent the whole year, and these guys are supposed to make a difference. Now, their claim to fame is, well, it's going to be so cold in Buffalo, and the Ravens aren't used to that. Well, think about it being that cold, and you tried to tackle Derrick Henry for a full game. The weather was pretty nice in week 4, and you guys did a terrible job at it. They didn't want any parts of tackling Derrick Henry, but now when it's cold, all of a sudden they're going to man up and do what they say that they're going to do.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bills' run defense, kind of bottom half of the league in terms of that, giving up, I think, 4.5 yards per carry. But yet Bills fans will have you believe that now that things are different because they have Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard, right? So because they're both healthy now. And between that, and between those two, and like you said, Von Miller to a lesser extent, because he's a little older, still productive, but he's a little older. Do you think that these three will be the difference maker in terms of their ability to kind of contain or limit Derrick Henry?
Quite possibly, yes. I think with the addition of them being healthy, them playing a little bit better than they have in the past, I think they may limit Derrick Henry to 185 yards, down from 199.
I was going to say that's not really a limit. That's what, 10 yards maybe? I mean, I guess
Hey,
technically.
for them, that's a win.
Ooh, okay. All right. Um, my thoughts on that, it's going to be very difficult for the Buffalo Bills to really try to stop Derrick Henry.
Mhm.
And limiting him, I don't know how they're going to do it. Even with, like I mentioned, a healthier linebacking core. This is a team that really struggled against the run, to stop the run. Now, they did a better job against the Broncos, but they're the Broncos and they don't have a Derrick Henry, right? So I didn't say they did great. I said they did a
No,
better
no.
job.
Oh no, I'm just saying, Javonte Williams, just the running back that they have on their squad just aren't really that good. So to
Right.
me, that's not really saying much. And they were playing from behind.
Yeah.
So rookie quarterback first playoff game, like it is what it is. But they can let them have their flowers for that game. Let them celebrate small victories.
Yeah.
Just know the last time that you played us, you stopped nobody. Lamar Jackson had 54 yards on 6 rushes. We haven't even discussed Lamar Jackson running the ball. And we saw last week how deadly that was at the mesh point when the Steelers didn't know who to go for. And I think their game plan was to tackle Derrick Henry every time until they realized Lamar was old Lamar and he was going to run the ball. And then when they finally realized it was a little too late. Now Derrick Henry's going off. Now we can sprinkle in some Justice Hill. Now we have Keaton Mitchell if we're going to use him.
Hmm.
Who and how are they going to stop this rushing attack? That's not even to discuss what Lamar Jackson's been doing in the passing game and how they're going to combat that. Now, yes, Teron Johnson is back, and it's another cornerback that's back as well, the nickel. But what difference is that really going to make? If you can't stop the run
Hmm.
and we start that play action passing, what are you going to do? Like defensively, they are the worst third down percentage team in the league. Like they're
Right.
the worst.
Yeah.
We are second. We are second best on offense. Those two things do not go together. They can't get off the field, and we stay on the field. So if it's that cold and we're just running the ball down your throats for 4 quarters, how are you going to stop this?
Yeah, I don't know what their answer is in terms of that. And I think it kind of goes back to a question I asked you a stream or two ago. I said, "Okay, what is our answer to us having a weakness, which is Brandon Stevens?" And your
Mhm.
answer was, Hendo, well, we just got to score more points. Like, how do we overcome that weakness? Well, the Ravens are going to have to just put up more points. So perhaps, right, they're looking at their team the same way. Their defense, in terms of their run defense, is kind of porous. And how do you combat that? It might be that even with a healthy Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, whoever, that they still just don't get the job done in terms of limiting Derrick Henry and Lamar, and to whatever extent we use Keaton Mitchell.
Mhm.
But their plan for that might be, listen, I don't know how we're going to stop them. Let's just make sure that we're able to score more points. But we'll get into their offense in just a bit. So,
And the best defense is a good offense. If
yep.
they can run the ball and keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, that will stop them from scoring. And if they don't get on the field and they can't get the continuity together during the game, like it throws you off. And like you said, we're going to get into it later on, but they still have to go against our defense. Our defense was
Yeah.
ranked 32nd against the pass when we played them.
Ooh,
32nd.
ooh,
And they scored 10 points. They threw, I think, Josh Allen threw for 182 yards
yeah.
against the 32nd ranked pass defense. And they want to say we're better. James Cook had turf toe, and Khalil Shakir
Shakir.
had an ankle sprain and all this good stuff. Cool, 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 cool. Over the last 7 weeks, the Baltimore Ravens have given up 285 yards on average
Hmm.
over the last 7 weeks.
Yeah.
What are you going to do versus that?
I don't know. I guess their answer might be to score more points. So we want to say hello to everyone in the chat already. I see you, Brent, Osmond, Just Tornado, Jay the Six is here, the Nigerian Nightmare. I see you, Big Reg, Agnes, Big Woke. Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Rod Wave is here. We appreciate the support. Jimmy, Jules, what if they score first? Ooh, that's a good question. I see you, Killer Cam. If you have questions for us, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. If you would use Q colon, it helps me to see your chat. I mean your question, so I don't miss it. But Jimmy wants to know, what if the Buffalo Bills score first? I
Did they score
mean,
first? I mean,
yeah. If
This isn't the Ravens of old. This isn't the Ravens where we used to get down by a field goal or a touchdown and we just get disjointed and just lose control. Lamar is on a different level right now. And the same thought process went versus the Steelers last week. The Steelers thought we're going to get the ball first, we're going to go score, and we're going to change the outcome of the game. And Kyle Van Noy said it best. I felt disrespected because of that.
Hmm.
And what happened? We stopped him. We went and scored. Then we scored right before the half, then got the ball back after halftime. Now, we didn't score at that point, but that presented us opportunities. So, yes, they can get the ball first and try to go score, but they better make sure that they do, because if they don't, it's going to be a problem.
Absolutely. And before I give my response, I see that Jimmy Jules has become a member of Hendo's channel. Thank you. Oh, we got
Appreciate
to give you some, we got to show you some love. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy, for becoming a member. That's right. Thank you very much. If you would like to become a member of the channel, whether it's my channel or Hendo's or both, you can click on the join button that's down below, and it brings up multiple tiers that you can select, choose one that works best for you. It's just a way that you can further support the channels and the work that we're doing on our respective channels. I see you, Jose. Jose is here from Lunch Break Hot Take. Make sure you go
it.
over and subscribe to Lunch Break Hot Take. You don't want to miss that fire content for Baltimore Ravens and the Carolina Panthers, because I have a feeling they're going to try and do some things this offseason, but we'll see. Imani is here. Good evening. Good evening. My mom is here. Good evening, Mom. Thanks for
So,
joining. See Iron Addict, I see you too.
yeah.
Listen, I think, we were talking about the run game. So if you're just now tuning in, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're new, welcome. Go ahead, subscribe, join the family, lock in with us, because this year the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl and winning it all. But one thing that you mentioned was it's going to be quite difficult for them to stop the run. And obviously the threat of Derrick Henry. And I would like to see him have no less than 25 carries. Let us know in the chat, how many carries should Derrick Henry have this game? But my thing is, the secret, I think, to winning this game could be an X factor on offense. If that be true, who would that X factor player be for you, Hendo?
It's going to be the same answer. As long as Zay Flowers is out, it's going to be Isaiah Likely. Just plain and simple. He's
Yeah.
he's he's too big for those safeties to cover him, and he's too fast for the linebackers. So they may have to put a corner on him. And he's still going to big boy him. Like, to me, getting him involved helps this offense out a lot, because then that frees up Mark Andrews. It allows Rashad Bateman to do what he does. So that just brings an extra element to the game for the Ravens, that the run game is just going to prosper. Now, you said there's a threat of Derrick Henry. It's no threat. It's a promise.
True.
Like, there
I
is
like that.
it's not even a threat. It's a promise of Derrick Henry.
I like that.
Like we've learned. I think we finally learned our lesson, and he's going to get 20 carries this game unless it's a blowout and he sits out the fourth quarter.
Mm.
So just with the threat of Lamar running, Lamar passing, Derrick Henry rushing, I think that's going to open up a lot for Isaiah Likely, and I think that they should make it a priority in getting him involved, because we see when he gets involved, good things happen.
No, sir. J the six. No, sir. Just no. No, 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 no. Good evening, Denise. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Agnes, as many as Derrick Henry would like. I'd love that. But I really think, and my answer has been Isaiah Likely as well. It really has. Up until this game, I just really think, because Buffalo has such difficulty stopping the run, I think if I were to say an X factor, I'm going to put it on Keaton Mitchell, because there's not a lot of tape on him. The Buffalo Bills are probably not even thinking, they probably don't even have him on their radar, maybe to some degree. And the fact that we haven't really used him very much in the run game since he's returned from injury could be just that kind of like that secret. Like, wow. Because how do you contain Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell on the field at the same time? What's your response? What's your answer? So while I agree with you about Likely, for sure,
Mm-hmm.
put Derrick Henry on the field, and also Keaton Mitchell. That's what
If
I
he
think.
plays, if he plays offense,
That's why I
that's
say
why
could be. It
that's why
could
I
be.
can't. That's why I can't put him as my X factor, because
Yeah.
you don't know his utilization. And me personally, I don't want to throw somebody out there that's not in football shape into a game that's probably going to be around 4 or 5 degrees.
Yeah.
Like temperature is going to play a factor in his muscle fatigue and all of these other things. I don't know if I want this game to be the one where he's overutilized and hurts himself further. So, I mean, it's possible they may deploy him. They may have been saving him for this moment. But listen, hopefully we don't need him. To be honest with you, hopefully we don't need him at all. Run Derrick Henry enough, let Lamar do his thing, let the defense go hunt, and we're going to be okay.
Yeah. I like that Killer Cam. The O line is my X factor. Excuse me. Yeah, I like that too. Certainly, for sure. The O line has to be, they have to show up. They've got to be able to move, to push the defenders back off the line. They have to be able to block. They have to be able to create lanes and, for the running backs and for Lamar Jackson, which leads us to Lamar, right? One thing a narrative that we continue to hear is Lamar Jackson will wow you during the regular season, but in the postseason, he's just not that guy. And for me, I want nothing more than for Lamar to go out there, ball out, have the game of his life. And this has nothing to do with the MVP race, because that, to my understanding, let me know, correct me if I'm wrong, Hendo and those in the chat, that's already done. That's already
Yeah.
been voted on. We just won't find out the results until like the week leading up to the Super Bowl. So this game really doesn't change whoever is to be the MVP. But I said all that to say, do you think that Lamar Jackson has to be Superman and play hero ball in order for us to come out with a victory this game?
No, it was the whole purpose of getting Derrick Henry. In years past, Lamar had to be the leading passer. He had to be our leading rusher because we just didn't have guys in the playoffs that scared anybody. I don't believe that the coaches trusted the guys that we had. Even the year when Lamar was out, they didn't put the ball in the hands of Gus Edwards or what's his face, 27.
J.K. Dobbins?
J.K. Dobbins. They didn't put the ball in their hands. 15 carries. They gave about 15 carries. Tyler Huntley was our starting quarterback. Like, they didn't trust guys that weren't named Lamar Jackson. But this season, we have a guy that had almost 2,000 rushing yards along with Lamar's 900. So if Lamar didn't rush a lot, as much as he did, he could have easily got 2,000 yards if he really wanted to. So for me, he doesn't have to be Superman. Just play his game like he did last week. He didn't do too much. He let the game come to him. He ran when he needed to run. He passed when he needed to pass. He was very efficient. That's all we need him to be, is efficient. I think the days of Lamar having to play hero ball might be over. I hope it's over. I hope we lean to our strengths and don't just say, Lamar, go make a play. Lamar, just be amazing, do what you do, and actually have a structured game plan to actually go out and win these games. And I think we may be at that point right now.
I'm going to ask this question, and one person who I know in the chat is really good with understanding the offensive line that I've seen comment on it is Killer Cam. And so I'm going to ask this question to everyone. But if our O-line struggles, hopefully they don't, right? But if our O-line struggles, what is the best way to kind of make up for that?
Play calling. It's always the key.
Oof.
Play calling is always the key. It's how you design your plays. If you know that you have a weakness somewhere, you chip. You double team. You scheme plays that kind of stop that pass rush from coming out. Listen, the Cincinnati Bengals went to a Super Bowl with a terrible offensive line.
They did.
Just because offensively they had the right play calls and they did what they needed to do to win. Plus, on top of that, we have Lamar Jackson. He makes this line look better than it is. So even if they do apply some pressure, Lamar can escape and make the plays. Derrick Henry can break tackles. Like, Derrick Henry is just one missed tackle away from going 80, 90 yards. So they don't have to play a perfect game. They just have to be a lot better. I'm less concerned with this offensive line than I was at the beginning of the season. Ronnie Stanley's going to be Ronnie Stanley. Tyler Linderbaum is going to be a Pro Bowl All-Pro center. But now we have Roger Rosengarten, who has shown that he's gone up against some of the best defensive ends and defensive linemen in his league, and he's held his own as a rookie. Last week, first playoff game, held TJ Watt without a stat. So the weakest links are, Falele and Makari, but they haven't been super terrible. I'm going to say that. Falele, listen, you can't get nagged if you don't touch anybody. You can't get beat on a block if you don't touch anybody.
Hendo, you called him whiffs the other week.
But if I don't touch anybody, did I really get beat? But in all seriousness, they they are playing when he does get his hands on people.
Hmm.
He has shown that he can make some plays. Now he'll run down the field with a wide receiver. He may not touch anybody while he's running, but he's
Okay.
keeping up.
Okay.
But I do have more confidence that this offensive line will play. Appreciate you. That this offensive line will be decent, just because of the fact that the Buffalo Bills defense doesn't scare me at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, and that's sure for sure. That is their weakness, right? And going against our offense is going to be a big challenge for them. I think this is a huge mismatch. I always want to call that mismatch, but it's a huge mismatch for
Mhm.
them going against Lamar. I think we're going to have the advantage there. So, hi there, game too easy. You're hoping that Todd is focused on the game. I mean, teams should not be allowed to interview coaches while they're in the playoffs. Absolutely. When I caught wind of the, I'm gonna give you my opinion. I understand how this works. Like, teams are wanting to get their coaches early, sooner rather than later, so that other teams don't snag their candidate, etc. I get it, but to hear that Todd Monken is interviewing today with, I believe, the Bears, and then tomorrow with the Jags, or vice versa, he's interviewing less than 48 hours, because tomorrow will be shy of 48 hours. He's interviewing less than 48 hours before a huge divisional matchup. Like, you don't get a second chance. Like, oh man. And I know for me, if I have a job interview,
Mhm.
I'm putting so much focus in that. I don't just go to a job interview and I haven't done my research. I haven't looked up information about the organization or the company. It takes time, or at least for me. It takes time for me to prepare for an interview. So that's
All right.
time taken away from Todd Monken getting in his bag and making sure that he's got everything locked and ready to go.
Got you. I understand what you're saying, but there are a couple of things that you have to consider. I will applaud John Harbaugh because he has never, not once, held his assistants back from moving up in the NFL. Now, unfortunately, other teams don't have time to wait for their candidates to get out of the playoffs. I don't know if Todd Monk is going to be out this week, next week, after the Super Bowl. I'm trying to get my organization started for next season, so I need my candidates to come in now so I can pick my coach and get everything started. Secondly, the game plan is already in for Sunday. So to say that he's not focused on the game plan is already set. Now he may add some wrinkles here and there, but the game plan is set. So I don't think that that's taken away from anything. Thirdly, and more importantly, who says that he wants to be a head coach? And who says that he wants to be a head coach of those teams? Maybe he's just arbitrarily just taking those interviews so he's not seeming like he's picky like Ben Johnson. Listen, I'm just going to play the game. I'm playing the game. I want to be a head coach, but I know going to Chicago is a lose lose for me. I know that going to the Jaguars is a lose lose for me, but I'm going to take
Mm.
these interviews. That doesn't mean that I'm taking them seriously. I'm going to go in there and do my best, but I'm not taking away from my game plan of possibly winning a Super Bowl because you know what? If I do help this team win a Super Bowl, if I don't get a head coaching job this year, after next year, I'm going to be in high demand. I'm the one that got Lamar Jackson better than his MVP season. I'm the one that
Yeah.
helped Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl. So after next season, when maybe a better opportunity arises, I'm going to be one of the first names mentioned. So to me, I get it. You don't want to divert focus from it, but he's a professional. He gets paid to do these things. This isn't the first time that a head coach, has gone into an interview for another team while they were still in a playoff run.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
I just don't like taking away opportunities from people when it arises because now if we wait till after the Super Bowl, all the head coaching jobs may be gone.
Yeah, I get it. I absolutely understand. I want to give a couple of shout outs really quickly. First, I wanted to say thank you for subscribing official 256 to Hendo's channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. We also have a super chat donation coming through. And if you let me find it really quickly. There we go. Jimmy Jules just tipped $10. Thank you, Jimmy Jules. If you want to leave a comment, Jimmy, just go ahead and drop the comment because I don't see one.
Well, let me see if I can find it because I might have to go to Stream Elements to pick
Okay.
it up.
And while Hendo is doing that, thank you for your support. Thank you for that. I got it. Now I have to go and find the.
I'm sorry. It says, "Where Yolanda podcast? Go Ravens." It's Ravens
Aw.
talk. It's Ravens talk with Yolanda.
Yes, Ravens Talk with Yolanda right here on YouTube. Thank you very much, Jimmy Jules. I appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Wanted to say, was something else I wanted to say. Hey there, Claude. Claude is in the building.
Clack, clack.
Glad to see you. Hey, Praveen. I see you, Tanja. And Kev T, you said just win the game. That is easier said than done, and I would love it. And I think we can, right? And I'm going to, we're going to segue in to our defense in just a bit. But before we transition to defense, offensively, Hendo, if you had to say right now a weakness on this Ravens team as we are set to face the Bills, what would it be?
A tendency to get complacent.
Ooh,
It's the only weakness we have.
that's good.
We get in the games and we start to get into cruise control and we start to lose focus and we lose leads. We may not give up the lead, but we start to lose the lead that we have, or we lose the momentum that we built up during that game. I mean, every team has a weakness. Me, it's the guard
Yeah,
position that's going to be the weakness, but I think that we can mask that. I
yeah,
just think that just being focused for 60 minutes during the game, and like we keep saying, keeping that foot on the gas pedal. I don't care if you're winning 35-10 in the third quarter. Go to 50. Just keep beating them down.
absolutely. If I had to go with a weakness on our offense, it would be,
Fullback.
what'd you say?
Fullback. You weren't gonna say
Lead?
fullback?
No, I was not. It would be that and hopefully this is a thing of the past, right? I'm going to say that we're not going to ever do this again, but just don't change who we are. Don't go out there and try to make this a competition. Who can pass the ball more? Who can pass the ball better? This is not what this is about. It's, to me, don't deviate. If I had to say a weakness, don't deviate from the run. That is who you are. That is your offensive identity. Stay true to that. Run the ball. Run the ball. Play action works. And, set the ball, set everything up for the pass. Get us down to the goal line and set us up to pass the ball. But don't change who you are as an offense. Don't try and change up play calling. And I don't want this to become a battle of, well, Josh Allen threw for XYZ yards in the first half, so now I have to do I don't want to see that. Now, if the run is just not working and some strange miracle they're able to stop the run, which I don't think they will be able to do, but if we have to pass, we do. If we're in a third and long, okay, it's an obvious passing situation. Outside of that, be who you are. So that would be my only thing. Hi, Go Man. Hi there. Thanks for being here. Raven's Third Ring. I see you, Heather. Nope, you're not late. You are right on time. And I do have someone who just subscribed to my channel. Let me go find that.
It
If
was
I
Nigerian
can.
Nightmare.
Oh, wait, it's not coming up. Okay, Nigerian Nightmare just subscribed to the channel. Thank you. I'm reading what you said. So I gotta give some props to Nigerian Nightmare. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, we are trying, Hendo and I have goals on our respective channels. I am trying to get to 1,500 subscribers before the Ravens reach the Super Bowl next month. You can help me get there. Hendo, what about you? How many subscribers are you trying to get to before the Ravens go to the Super Bowl next month?
I'm trying to get to 6,000.
There you go. You heard it here first. How do you help us with that? You take the link and you share it with your family, friends. You make sure you're subscribed. Pass on this good Ravens content with other people who would really enjoy just kind of breaking down our team. That's how you can help us. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for, just your support over the years for Hendo, your support of my channel this past year. It's been amazing, but we have a long way to go. We have 3 games to win in the next few weeks, and that's what we're going to be focused on. So let's shift now to the Ravens defense matching up against the Bills offense. This is where I think it gets a little dicey. It can, let me say that. It can get a little dicey. This is a team, Hendo, that is able, and they have shown you, they are able to put up points. And our defense, in terms of our secondary,
Hmm.
has been a little, spot. We've been better, much, much better since we've made some personnel changes. But let's start with the strength of the team for the Bills. I think is
Hmm.
Josh Allen, is their offense,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And they have weapons. So, and they're all healthy
You
now.
said you drift.
They're all healthy. So,
Hmm.
oh, thank you so much,
Appreciate
Drift.
that.
Thank
Appreciate
you. Just subscribe to Hanging with Hendo. Also, go ahead and tell everyone about Hanging with Hendo. What is that?
Lord. Hanging with Hendo is just my other channel, which is just gives a glimpse into my personal life. Um, it's going to kind of document my journey into becoming a full time YouTuber. It's also to help other people if they're interested in YouTube, helping them grow. I actually just recently learned some stuff the last few days that may help some people out, get some more eyes on their channel. Just life and everything else. Just something representing myself outside of just sports and football.
Yeah. Optimus Prime. Hey there. Why does that name just like, make me smile? Because growing up, I have a lot of brothers and I know about the Transformers. Listen, I know about Optimus Prime.
Long as it's not Rodimus Prime, because nobody likes him.
I just know about Optimus Prime. I have brothers. So thank you again for subscribing. I got to give you some, got to give you the purple flowers. Well, they're not flowers, but you know what I mean. Thank you for subscribing, joining the family. We do appreciate you, Drift. Thank you. But
Appreciate you.
going back to the question, you know, this is a team who can score points.
Yes.
And do you think the Bills will try to either run or pass the ball more, or do you think they will have a good balance of both?
Well, let me first correct you. This is a team that can score points versus bad teams. That's what they can do. Good teams, they don't do as well versus the good teams. No, they don't.
Mm.
No, look at the point differential. Below 500 teams, plus 129. Teams that are above 500, plus 6.
I didn't say this is a team that
I'm,
scores a lot of points every
I'm
game.
just,
I just said
I'm
this is a
just
team
saying.
that can put up some points. They put up
They
enough to
can.
beat the Chiefs,
Okay, that's the
right?
Chiefs.
Well,
They
it's
put,
not just the Chiefs. I mean,
did
we
they
need,
put did
we
they
need to
put
try
up
and
did
beat
they put
them.
up enough to beat Baltimore?
No, they did not.
Hmm.
They did
Hmm.
not.
Hmm.
But what they did in week 4, again, for me, I'm looking at it and I keep it in perspective.
Hmm.
Fast forward, what, 16, 17 weeks later, we're a
Hmm.
different team.
Hmm.
They're a different team. So my question is, do you think that this team, this Bills offense is going to be a pass heavy or run heavy team or a balance of both?
They're gonna be a run. They're gonna be a pass heavy team. They have to be a pass heavy team. Now, understandably, listen, they fired old boy from the U. Thank goodness, because Ken Dorsey was just Ken Dorsey. Brought in Joe Brady, and they started to focus more on the run. They gave the ball more to James Cook. Phenomenal back. Phenomenal back.
Hmm.
Took the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. This is what led to him having a lot less turnovers because he was no longer the focal point. But the difference is, and I know it was week 4, but the Ravens have a top 2 run defense in the NFL. We held him to 81 yards the first time, and that's with us struggling versus the pass. Now, since week 13, the Ravens are first in pass defense, first in scoring defense, first and third down efficiency defense, first in red zone defense. They're first all across the board in every statistical category from week 13 on. So, yes, when you want to say that these two teams are different from the week 4 matchup, we are exponentially better than we were. They are incrementally better.
Hmm. Somebody write
So,
that down. That's good. We
so
need to talk about that.
Yes, so therein lies
I
the
like that.
defense. More importantly, the reason that I'm not scared is over the last 2 seasons. And I know people are going to say, well, the Buffalo Bills were 8-0 at home this year. They just were unbeatable. They had one of the best records in the playoffs at home. Yes, but over the last 2 seasons, there have been 8 games played in a divisional round. The other quarterbacks went 6-0 at home in the divisional round matchups. Josh Allen has gone 0 for 2. So every other quarterback that played at home in a divisional round matchup won.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen's lost the last 2.
Hmm.
And he's lost 3 overall. So for me, yes, can they score? Yes, they can score. Will they score? That is a different story. We have Brandon Stevens that may be a weakness in his defense. But another key difference that we tend to not talk about is Marcus Williams is no longer in his secondary. Addition by subtraction. So we've made some key changes. We've gotten some people healthy. Zach Orr has kind of rounded out into a defensive head coach, I guess with some help from Dean Pease. But this defense just overall has done a 180. So
Yeah.
we are better off than we were when we were at our worst. At our worst, we gave up 10 points. At our worst, 10 points. So now we are at our best defensively. They have finally caught up to the offense, and you're telling me that I should be worried that Josh Allen is going to put up some points? I'm not worried. Listen, you limit Khalil Shakir, and what else do they have? Like if you watch their games, if you know, I'm just saying, if you watch a lot of their games, and I'm not taking anything away from Josh Allen throws a lot of short passes to Shakir, and he goes 70 yards on his own. Limit those plays. You limit James Cook's big runs. What else do they have?
They also have. Let me bring up the stat sheet on how they performed last game. Just to talk about it. I'm not saying it's great, but let's just have a quick little look, right, at
Oh,
how the Bills performed last week.
you can talk about Ty Johnson. You can talk about Dalton Kincaid. Maybe you may sprinkle in a little Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman.
Okay. Am I Ray Davis if he's healthy? What? Who
Can
are
we
you
take a
saying?
look at the stat sheet?
Who you go ahead? But who are you going to tell me that's going to scare me?
Let's just
Outside of Shakir, their home run threat. Who?
let's take a look at the stat sheet.
Oh, I forgot Curtis Samuel. My bad.
Why y'all let Hendo go off like that? There you go. That's it. Curtis Samuel. So this is last week's game, right? For the Bills. This is last week's game for the Bills versus the Broncos. Keep it in proper perspective. It is the Denver Broncos. But Denver Broncos has one of the best supposedly had one of the
They
best
do.
defenses in the league.
They do.
I know, but if you look at how they played this past game, you would not believe it.
Because you have to take things into perspective. Like
I know.
if you go, and this is why we tell a lot of people, stop looking at stat sheets. Stop going to stat sheets saying, oh, he rushed for 120, he passed for 300, he did this. What happened was the Denver Broncos on their first drive, over the top, 7 points, didn't do anything else for the rest of the game. So their defense was constantly on the field. The defense was constantly on the field. In the late third quarter to the fourth quarter, they started hitting the mess out of Josh Allen. They started getting a lot of sacks on him.
Yeah, he got two.
They're number one. We're
Yeah.
number two. So
So,
you're telling me we can't do that
oh, we
with better
certainly
personnel?
can. And that leads us into the next. But let me just answer your first question before we go into the next one. This one right here, looking at Curtis Samuel, you said, who else? That's the one. I couldn't remember his name, but yeah, there you go. Curtis Samuel. And so you're going to have to limit several different players, right? It's not, Hendo is not buying it. No matter what I say,
Because
he's not buying it.
I'm trying to understand. If I'm on the field the majority of the game
Hmm.
offensively,
Yeah.
I'm going to get yardage because I'm on the field. Now, granted, that defense got tired.
Yeah.
Listen, outside of Pat Surtain, who do the Broncos have in the secondary that really scares people?
Nobody. No, I
So,
mean, maybe
so
one
you're
or
telling
two,
me
but
Curtis Travelman, Journeyman Samuels is supposed to scare me?
yeah. No, I mean, but what my point was, my
I know.
point is, this is a game where I believe the Buffalo Bills can score points. And
Against
if
who?
we do not, if against the Baltimore Ravens, but let me finish though. We have to be prepared. This is where I was going to go with this. If our linebackers, I'm going to call them out by name. No matter where you are, no matter if you're playing Will, Sam, or Mike, it doesn't matter. You need to be ready. Where is David Ojabo, by the way? Okay, I move on.
At the
So
police
that
station?
means I need pressure coming from the edge. The way that I think we really slow this Bills offense down. They are a good offensive team. I'm going to give them credit for that because they've earned it. I'm going to also put it in perspective because I believe Tone Smoke or someone else said context matters, right? It absolutely does. Even though they are a team that can score points, as long as we are able to generate pressure from the interior of our defensive line, as well as generate pressure coming from the edge, make Josh Allen uncomfortable. He's huge. He's what, 6'5", 250? He's going to be tough to tackle and bring down. It's tough to get him. In the bitter cold, it's going to be tough, but you've got to figure out a way to do it. That means David Ojabo, Kyle Van Noy, Odafe Owe. This is where I think we can start to take some of the pressure off of, like you said, our secondary, specifically, most importantly, Brandon Stevens. And that's what I think the answer is. So for me, if you want to really have an effect on Josh, you get to him. You get pressure.
Of course.
You sack him. That's what you do. Because you already know Josh can take off and run the ball as well. He's no Lamar Jackson now. Let's be clear. He's not. But he can certainly threaten you in that area. So there's that.
I mean, yeah, of course he can. My thing is get pressure up the middle. When you put pressure in somebody's face, I don't care who it is. That's how we used to beat Tom Brady. When we got pressure in his face, we threw him off of his game. Now we get pressure on Josh. Of course, he's going to have the ability to scramble. This is where, I forgot he was too. This is where we need our 4-3s to come into play.
Yeah.
The guys with
sure.
4-3 speed at linebacker to come off the edge and chase him down. Listen, I know we joke your boy Owe. He's big enough to handle Josh Allen. Can he do it? That's a tough task. And I know that I sound overconfident in a lot of things. And that's only because I've been listening to the Buffalo Bills fans talk for the last 5 days.
Oh
And
man.
they've just ticked me off so much that listen, you wanna come out here with your confidence and bravado? I can do the same thing. I'm confident that my team is going to win. Lamar
Yeah.
has a different look in his eyes. This defense has gotten its stuff together at the right time. We've put it all together and we're playing team football. We don't have one side of the ball outshining the other at the right time. And Josh Allen is an amazing player. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to discount anything that he's done in this league, but it's predominantly Josh Allen, and that's it. Sprinkling James Cook, Josh Allen. We have a team. We have 9 Pro Bowlers and 6 All Pros. They have 2 Pro Bowlers and 1 All Pro. So you take a collective team that's better than a couple pieces. We should dominate this game. And I know
Yeah.
that they think that Josh is the second coming of Joe Montana and he's gonna just will his team to victory. But I mean, he has to deal with us. Their claim to fame is it's gonna be so cold. We're gonna beat you guys because it's gonna be so cold. Oh my gosh, the weather is gonna affect Lamar. He's never played in a game this cold. He's not gonna be able to throw the ball. But I think that they forget Lamar can take an 80 on you at any time. So he doesn't have to throw the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy says Josh will throw some picks too. We have to catch them. Well, that's something that I don't necessarily know. I think he might. He has the propensity to if we get enough pressure. But Josh has been much better at ensuring that he does not throw. I think he only has 6 picks this season, and Lamar has 4. So my point is, I can't guarantee that he's going to throw some picks.
But there have been a lot of drops. He still puts the ball in harm's way. There have been he could have a lot more interceptions. He still does. He's a gunslinger. He still feels like he can fit the ball in anywhere. And with some better secondaries, they're going to turn into interceptions. Bills Mafia is too strong.
The only thing I'm saying is as long as we can get some pressure, and I see where I think it was Kamal, you're wrong for that. Ojabo, I forgot he was on the team. That's not that's not
Why
nice.
why would you remember him? As dominant as we were last week versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, tell me when you saw David Ojabo on the field.
You know when I saw him on the field? During last night's Wired, and I was like, "Yes, that's right, David Ojabo." Be honest with you.
But like I said, during the game, tell me when you saw him on the field.
Okay, that's a different question. And Killer Cam says, "But we have a low pressure rate." That's my point. If we have a low pressure rate, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. We're going to have to do better.
We only need it for one game. One game. One game.
That's right. Andre, hey there. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
It's the haters ball. What's up?
I hope you are rooting for our Baltimore Ravens this game.
Listen,
so.
Andre. Let me tell you. Most of the people at my job are Steelers fans, and all I heard all day today was, "I didn't expect them to do much anyway." Oh, really? When you guys were leading the division, it was, oh, finally, we're going to get to the Super Bowl. We're going to do this. Now, all of a sudden, I didn't expect them to do much. Like, we came into the season thinking they were going to be okay. Yeah, okay. Losers mentality.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I absolutely believe in our defense. I do. I do. We have, and if they want to try to run the ball, like you said, we have the best run defense. So that has been stout all year. I have no concerns there.
Mm-hmm.
But we've still seen struggles protecting the middle of the field. Now, again, Roquan Smith.
He's in shape.
Okay. We're not gonna do that. We're not going to do that. Hey there, Big Woe. Beak's gonna get another 2 sacks. Love it. That to me. Now you're talking my language. That's what is key to winning this game against Josh Allen. That's what it is. How many sacks can we get on Josh Allen? And if Michael Pierce wants to grab another interception and take a knee, go ahead. We'll take it. We will take it. I know they've been very reckless this week. You can't tell them nothing. They don't want to hear it. So, but I'm on a scale of 1. Let me ask this question, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you are extremely confident in our defense, 1 being you are totally not. Where do you rank your level of confidence going into against the Buffalo Bills? And leave a comment in the chat. Let us know what your number is. Where do you rank, Hendo?
8.5.
Okay. I was going to go with about 7.5 to 8. I'll say 8. I'll say 8 because no matter what, I think the Ravens are a much, I don't want to say a bully team, but they're just much different than I think the Bills are able to handle. Look at the other teams in their division. Miami, Patriots, and the Jets.
The Jets.
So this is a team that I don't think is really ready to handle our brand of Baltimore bully beatdown defense. So I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give an 8. We do have a question coming in though from Derek White. Hey, Derek. Is it a coincidence that all our quarterbacks were 28 when they won their Super Bowl? How old is Lamar now?
28.
28. And we have won the Super Bowl in 2000, 2012. That's it. And now 12 years later, fast forward, where are we? We're winning it this year. Lamar MV3, 24 Super Bowl winner. I don't think it's a coincidence.
And it's in New Orleans again.
And it's in New Orleans. I don't think it's a coincidence, Derek. Good question.
You forgot also 2011, the Baltimore Ravens, number 1 seed, lost. Next season, Super Bowl. Last year, number 1 seed, lost. This year, wild card round on up. We're going to the Super Bowl. And we had to play both of our games, the divisional round and AFC Championship game on the road. Like, there are too many coincidences and similarities to the 2012 season, which has me so confident believing that we're going to win the Super Bowl. Like, it's just too many things that line up. And just the most important thing is Lamar is being Lamar. We're seeing Lamar calm. He's not antsy. He's not worried about the playoff narrative. He's not worried about being a passer. He proved during the regular season he's a quarterback. He doesn't have to prove that he can throw anymore. He doesn't have to prove that he can go into a playoff game and outduel another quarterback. Just be himself and let the game come to him. Who's going to beat us?
Yeah. Facts. And comedian Mo Brown says 25-mile-an-hour winds. That's what he says. He says it's going to be windy out there and that the Ravens have 5 losses. Now, string that all together and tell me what you mean by it, because I can't follow your logic.
He's giving the reasons why the Ravens are going to lose.
I know, but I wanted comedian Mo Brown to put it in his or her own words.
And the Bills have 1 blowout loss to the Ravens. What's your point? I'm not understanding. What's your point?
That's why I was saying, comedian Mo Brown, I don't know. Get it. Go, man. That would be lovely. That would be lovely. I thought about the same thing. Listen. People are sleeping on these Texans, and we're going to talk about that in just a bit. We're going to get out of here pretty soon. And we've been just talking.
But I don't want the Texans, though. I don't want the Texans.
I mean, I know you don't, but
I
we
want
would
a
be.
I want a Joe Flacco type Super Bowl run. I
You just
want
better
him
be.
to beat. I just want him to beat everybody. I'm tired of hearing, well, this is Patrick Mahomes' era, and as long as Patrick Mahomes is in the NFL, nobody's going to win a Super Bowl. Nobody's going to the Super Bowl from the AFC side of things as long as Pat Mahomes is here. They already got their one with Joe Burrow. Now it's Patrick Mahomes' time. I want Patrick Mahomes.
Mm,
For good or for bad, I
yeah,
want to go up against the best. I want Lamar to show everybody so they can stop this narrative and say, well, the Texans did the Ravens a favor by taking out the Chiefs and gave Lamar an easy path to the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear none of that.
that's it. I get it.
None of that.
I get it. I do.
Yeah, John Elway.
Who is officiating this game? I saw. I don't know his name. I can't recall his name, but it's one of
Somebody we
the.
don't want.
Yes, Agnes. From what I saw on one of the Bills, like a short that popped up on my news feed. Whoever this ref is has a known. One of the refs anyway has a known history of calling against the Ravens. Just so I'm like, great, lovely. I don't know who it is. I didn't write the person's name down, but we'll see. Well, Andre, you got to pay to troll. You got to pay to troll. I put up one comment. I'm not putting up anymore, but I have a question for you. If the Ravens suck and we beat you, I mean, where does that leave you as an object? I say that respectfully. But anyway, you got to pay. If you want your comment displayed and you want to troll, that's fine. No worries. You just
I'm
got to
gonna
pay.
say, I'm gonna say it disrespectfully. Where
Okay.
does that leave you? We blew y'all out when we normally
Okay,
play,
wait.
and you normally beat us. It's a one score game. We blew you out in the regular season. We beat you by 2 touchdowns the last time. So if we suck, what does that make you? Unstable?
Ooh.
How about that? Don't know what you're gonna do with your coach. Don't know what you're gonna do with your star wide receiver. Don't know what you're gonna do with the quarterback position. Hmm.
Don't know
Hmm.
what's going on with George Pickens because he don't want to be there.
That's what.
I move
That's what I
on.
just said. They star wide receiver.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, DDSQ said Ojabo had a solo tackle. See there? And you guys are talking about Ojabo like y'all forgot he was on the team. I
Who?
forgot he was on the team too. But yes,
Oh, that guy. That guy.
we've got to, we got to Josh Allen in week 4 and they can do it again. Absolutely. But see, Tanja, here's the thing. They're going to flip the narrative and say, oh, well, you guys got to Josh Allen. It's because he was playing with a broken left non-throwing hand. Their star running back had turf toe. We were missing 3 or 4 of our starters on defense. And, they're going to give you all manner of excuses as to why we got to Josh Allen, why we were able to beat the Bills. But they're not
Never
going to put
mind.
it they're not going to put it in proper context. So, yeah, these Bills fans have been rather spicy, and I've seen some very disrespectful things. Something I saw about Lamar Jackson, I was very, very angered by it. Very racist undertone, and it really disturbed me. To me, there's just no place for that. That's fine if
Who?
you're all for your team.
Right.
It is. If you're a Bills fan and you like your team, great. I'm a Ravens fan and I love my team, but I think that there should be a line drawn in the sand at some point. But let me get off my
Yeah, yeah,
soapbox and move on.
nah, no, 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 no. They made it racial, and for me, the issue wasn't even the fact that they made it racial because I expect that from them. Upstate New York, you know the demographic. Well, some people know the demographic. It wasn't the fact that they did that. It was the fact that you had people coming behind them saying, "Oh no, I don't think that it was like that. We donated to Lamar's charity." Well, what does that have to do with a sector of your fan base
Correct.
doing exactly what they did? This is why I want to beat them so bad. This is why I'm so confident that we're going to go in and destroy them because them fans need to be humble. I have never, outside of maybe the Washington Skins, but they got a little bit of something. I've never seen a fan base, maybe the Bengals, with no Super Bowl titles,
Hmm.
talk so much
That's true.
smack. We went to 4 Super Bowls. No, you lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
That's
And
exactly right.
nobody
Yeah.
else is ever going to do that ever again. You gosh darn right.
Hmm.
Nobody's ever going to lose 4 Super Bowls in a row and
Yes.
again in history. That is not something to be proud of.
No.
I'm the
Yeah.
runner up 4 years in a row, and each year it got worse and worse and worse and worse. But I'm going to brag about that. We
Yeah.
can't talk about week 4, but y'all can talk about the early 90s.
Mercy. Speak on it. Good evening, Devin. Thanks for being here. Any thoughts on Von Miller? Um, Von Miller's good. He's older, but he's still
Mhm.
good. He's still very productive. And, he can get after the quarterback. So, what do
Call
you
somebody.
think?
I mean, listen, Von Miller, it's hit or miss. Sometimes he like I said, he shows you glimpses of the old Von Miller. Sometimes he's just non-existent during games. I personally, I'm not that individual. So if anybody knows somebody that is, the night before the game, the morning of the game, somebody call his baby mother and have her stir up some drama.
Mm, mm.
I'm just saying,
Yeah. Hey, Tone Smoke. Yeah, Roquan Smith looks a lot better. He has, and that's why I'm saying this is a game for him. I mean,
redemption,
obviously, that's right. It's it's not just obviously it's not just we need a good game from Roquan. We need a good game from all of them. But
facts.
we know that the middle of the field has been a struggle defending that. Now, if Roquan, like Hendo said, he's in shape, he's ready to go. Like you said, Tone Smoke, he looks much better, much more confident, much more demanding and domineering, like he was, kind of like what we saw last year. That's it. That's what we need. Absolutely.
And listen, Jules. I'm not trying to take anything. It is amazing going to 4 Super Bowls. That is an amazing feat. I'm not taking anything away from it. My point is that's not a flex. It's not a flex to say that you. That's not how you come in a franchise that has won 2 Super Bowls. The previous iteration won a Super Bowl. They won 3 other NFL championships. It's not a flex to come at champions and say, "Well, we almost were champions 4 times in a row." It's not the flex you think it is.
You're not the only one that is hungry. Trust me. You've got Lamar Jackson, who's equally, if not more, hungry than you. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's
listen, and I just think that not I listen. I just want Bills fans, well, not Bills fans. I just want the talking heads, the publications, the shows to give Josh Allen as much smoke as they give Lamar Jackson. Because if you listen to Bills fans, if you listen to a lot of people, Josh Allen is rated higher than Lamar Jackson. So why isn't Josh Allen receiving the same scrutiny that Lamar Jackson is for not reaching a Super Bowl? So when he loses this game, I want y'all to come at him the way y'all would come at Lamar for not winning a Super Bowl, especially if Josh Allen wins the MVP this year and doesn't make it out this round. I need you to criticize him fairly the way that you criticize Lamar Jackson because he seems to escape all of these narratives. 1-3 in the divisional round. Yes, kings of the wild card. He is king of the wild card round. He's king of the lesser seeds. 5-1. Does his thing. Gets in the divisional round, bows out. And I'm sure that you're all going to talk about that one game, and then he made it to the AFC Championship, and him in the 13 seconds with the Kansas City Chiefs. But did he win? But he threw 4 touchdowns for 380 some yards. But did he win?
no, he didn't. Last comment I'm gonna put up, comedian Mo Brown. If you want to troll, you got to pay. So Buffalo wants that revenge. They have a chip on their shoulders, and you best believe that the Ravens have a chip on theirs as well. We actually made it to the AFC Championship last year and came in second place. So you can't convince me otherwise that the Ravens don't already have a chip on theirs. Plus, Lamar Jackson has been that guy who has always been criticized and always underappreciated, always told that he can't play the quarterback position. He should be a running back. He should be a wide receiver. Go be a water boy. He's gotten all of that hate, that flack all of his life. So he's already coming into this league with a chip on his shoulder. But thank you so much. Next comment, if you want to troll, you are more than welcome to do so. But you just got to send a super chat to do it. I see
Got to
most of
pay
you
to
are
play.
got to pay. I see most of you are pretty confident. Yeah, I'm about an 8 with our defense. So something was said earlier. And I'm going to get to you, So R11981. I'm going to get to you in a second. Can I just call you So? So Jay? I
1981
like
was
that.
a good. 1981 was a good year.
Okay. But I'm going to get to your comment in a second. But talking about our past, our ability to defend against the pass, our pass defense, right? Who do we need to put on, who are to cover their best wide receivers?
What?
Do we,
This is a
my
trick
point,
question.
no, it's not. My question is, do we need to add Tre'Davious White into the rotation at some
So,
point?
I mean,
That's
I
what,
think I think just
oh, go ahead.
I think it would be good to just give different looks. Different guys with different techniques to kind of switch he and Brandon Stevens in and out. But to me, what's the difference? They both give up yards and completions. What's the difference?
I mean, all of them do. Nate
Not
Wiggins,
like them two. Not like them two. Nate Wiggins has gotten better,
he's gotten better.
and he's a rookie.
Correct. And he's never, yeah, he's a rookie. I got it. So that's what I'm saying. So no, it wasn't a trick question. I'm just saying Obviously, we have Marlon Humphrey, right? He's our
Mhm.
best corner,
Yes.
most athletic. But outside of him, who do we have? Who can we say I can depend on this corner?
Arthur Millette.
I'm moving on. 'Cause you're always playing around. Don't forget, Yolanda, we are the second in the NFL in sacks. We sure are. That is no
I
small
brought that up
thanks to my
earlier.
guy. I know, but I just had to repeat this. This is good. It shocks me that no one ever brings this up. Hendo brought it up earlier. He did. So, but yes, we do. And that's something we talked about, in terms of our defense. Our defense we've shown that we can apply pressure.
Hmm.
We can get sacks. That's going to be key to me, especially trying to take some of the pressure off of the secondary. But
Well, yeah. Listen, we put Marlowe on Shakir,
yep.
Nate on Coleman.
Mm, wait, wait,
Listen,
wait,
listen.
wait,
We need we
wait.
need we need this. We need the size matchup. We need the size matchup. And he's played him in college, so
I know, I know. Okay. All right.
we need the
All right.
size matchup. Then Brandon Stevens can guard Curtis Samuel or Ray Davis out the backfield. Like
Okay. Fair enough.
put him on the lowest tier guy.
All right. Okay. That works for me. That works for me. Brandon is due for a breakout game.
I
Okay.
hope so. I hope so.
Okay. Hope so. I hope so, go man. And my question is he gonna have it this game?
Yes, he is.
There's something coming behind that smile. What what does that mean?
Listen, he better have it this game. He dog sure ain't gonna have it versus Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown. He's not gonna have it against
Mm,
Amon Ross St. Brown and Jameis Williams. He's not gonna have it versus who else? AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Like, yeah, he better have a breakout game now because we get to the end.
ah,
And
yes.
it's a contract year. Amari Cooper, I forgot about Amari Cooper. But Amari
Yeah,
Cooper
that's what
has
I'm
not
saying.
been he's not been Amari Cooper since he's been with Buffalo, and he's been oft injured.
Right. He's been back since he's come back from injury because, they'll tell you in week 4, Amari Cooper wasn't with the team. Yeah, they hadn't traded for him and, blah, blah. And then he was injured and blah, et cetera, et cetera. But,
What
we got
he
to
what he
account
doing?
for.
What he doing in that Buffalo game? I mean, in Denver game since you got the stat up. What he
Let's
doing
pull
that
it
game?
up. Let's see. He didn't do much, but let's
No,
see
no,
what he
no,
did.
no, no, no. I know that's why I want you to tell me what he did in that game
I have
because
to pull up the
because Buffalo
stat.
pull it up because the Buffalo Bills fans gonna say we didn't have Amari Cooper back then. He's a true number one.
Let
What
me
did he do? What did he do? What did he do?
let
Let
me
me know.
pull up the stat real quick and let's check out Amari Cooper. And I'm coming right back to your question, Derek.
You could have just read it.
No, I have it on the same screen as this, so I couldn't have done that. Amari Cooper, yes.
What did he do? I can't see the screen. What did he do?
He
I
did a
can't
whole
I
bunch
can't
of
see
nothing.
I can't even
Two
see his name.
receptions,
Where's his name at?
2 receptions, 3 targets for 8
Oh, he's
whole
down there.
yards.
He's down there. Okay, got it. All right. But listen, but Amari Cooper's gonna come in and change the whole
He
dynamic of
is.
the Buffalo
Let
Bills.
the Bills fans tell you, Amari Cooper is everything. Derek has a question. Since we know who is repping the AFC, which team is getting destroyed February 6th?
It's a tough question.
Ooh.
Listen, this is a tough question. A lot of people think that the Rams and that defense, because their defense has been balling, is going to
Mhm.
make an appearance. But for me, it's dependent upon how healthy over the next 2 weeks Detroit's defense can get. Detroit might actually make their first Super Bowl. But I still go with my prediction of Baltimore versus Philly. We owe them. We owe them a whipping.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. The Rams are looking good, but it's just to me, I really would pick the Lions. I really would pick the Lions to rep the NFC, but they're just too injured. They got too many injuries on both sides. So I don't know. I don't know. To me, it's either a toss up. If somehow the Lions can come out with, then it could be the Lions. But absent that, I think the Rams have a shot.
It won't be the
That's right,
commies.
troll toe.
It won't be the commies. I tell you that.
You know what?
It
Look,
won't be. It won't be Lamar Jackson 0.5.
that's terrible. Hey there, Dre. Thanks for being here. Thank
Good, Rick.
you. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, The Commanders are pretty impressive. Of course, you know, they have a rookie. They have a rookie, but you go look up Jaden Daniels' fourth down conversion stats. This, I mean, I'm sorry, they're
Oh,
a
and
very good team.
and that propelled them to their division win, right? They won the division with them fourth down stats, right?
Listen, I'm
No, no,
not
no. I'm
counting.
asking. It's a question. They won the division.
No,
They were a wild card to beat Baker Mayfield, right?
pretty much. Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
Okay. Yeah. It's so impressive.
Mm. See, that's what I don't like. B squared. That's what I don't like when
Hmm.
when you take it too far. It's one thing. Again, it's one thing to love your team, have pride for your team. You really you're rooting for them, right? It doesn't matter what your team, who your team is, but you take things way too far. And this is what, yes, that's exactly what that's the comment chaos. That's what I was making reference to earlier. But yeah, that's where I said, you know what? I'm drawing the line here. Couple more things that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to kind of, get out of here for the night. But how do we best utilize Hamilton against the Bills offense? Do we play him closer to the line of scrimmage? Do we play him deeper in the backfield? What is the best way that we can maximize Kyle Hamilton for this game? Because he's just so, multifaceted.
I guess deeper in the backfield for me. I
Ooh,
think that I think personally for what the Bills have going on, we can limit them with what we have up front. And I think we need Kyle over the top. Listen, I understand there was a miscommunication with Stevens and Hamilton last week, but we're going to need Hamilton covering Stevens back because if not, they're going to pick on Stevens all game long. Like all you're going to
yeah.
just see is pass to the left, pass to the left, pass to the left, pass across the middle. Like, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm torn because I really want to see, because of his speed and his athleticism. If we find that Odafe Owe, Kyle Van Noy, and David Ajabo, if we find that they're not able to get to Josh Allen, I think Kyle Hamilton can blitz him, put him up there closer to the line of scrimmage. That's what I think. But I'm torn because I can see where playing him deeper in the backfield makes a lot of sense. It does. It sure does. But, you know. Oh, Ferris. Thank you for being here. Thank
the
you.
first. I mean,
Um,
everybody hates the Giants.
yeah,
Well,
for sure.
in the NFC, everybody hates the Giants. They figured, why would you let Saquon get away and go to the Eagles of all teams? Y'all could have kept him around, built around him, but y'all just decided to pay Daniel Jones.
I'm just now seeing Josh's comments, and I didn't see him from earlier. I'm not gonna.
Just let
Yeah,
it
I'm not
go.
gonna.
Just let it
No.
go.
I'm not gonna display him, but I'm just gonna let you. I'm gonna give you a stern warning here, Josh. We don't tolerate the foul language on over here, so you'll need to take that elsewhere. Also, watch what you say here. Keep it respectful. If you don't want to do that, then your presence is no longer welcome.
Kick rocks and flip flops, but no socks.
Yeah. Tone Smoke says play him deep. Yeah, we have to play him at safety.
Gotta put,
We do.
gotta.
We do. We do. So, listen. Let's get into score prediction. Who is winning this game? Who is winning this game? And what's your score prediction, Hendo?
I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills getting defeated by the Baltimore Ravens, 38-20.
Wait, you think the Bills are only going to be able to score 20 points at home?
I was being generous. I don't think they're going to score 20, but I'm being generous because
Really?
because listen,
Okay.
all of those defensive additions that they brought back to the team that don't play offense is going to help them score more than 10 points because they only scored 10 points because Matt Milano didn't play and Taron Johnson didn't play, but they played defense. So I don't know how that was going to help them offensively in the game, but yeah, I'll give them an extra 10 points just for good sportsmanship.
Okay. Leave your score in the chat for us. Who wins this game? What is your score prediction? Definitely taking the Baltimore Ravens on this one. And I'm going to say the score, not particularly close, not a blowout. I don't know. For me, a blowout is maybe 20, 22, 23 points is a blowout. So I'm going to go Ravens. Ravens 30. Oh, now I'm stuck. I
I
don't
see.
know.
Well,
I'm
while
gonna
you think about that,
I'm gonna
I see somebody in the comments that says the Bills scored 20 points. Okay, and laughing emoji. Well, let me tell you about a game. It was a Super Bowl played, and there was this team that was juggernaut offensively, had possibly, arguably, the greatest quarterback of all time. Then you had this team that was a defensive team. Ferris knows them very, very well. Had a guy, he's on TV now, I think Good Morning America or something like that. I'm not mentioning any names, but he gave a score prediction and said that that team, that juggernaut team, was going to score 17 points.
hmm.
This Hall of Fame all-time great quarterback laughed and was like, we're only going to score 17 points? Yeah, right. Went to that school with Super Bowl and scored 14. So let's not act like it can't happen.
I don't know, Kev T. I don't know if it's going to be a low scoring game. Their defense doesn't present as much of a challenge for Lamar to slow our offense down as I, you know.
Ooh,
So I
that'd be
think
quick.
I'm thinking maybe 34 24 Baltimore Ravens. 34-24. That's it for me.
I see
I
some
like it,
50.
Devin.
I see
42.
50s.
42? Wait, Olga. 52?
I would
Oh,
hope.
that would be great because if we get 50, Lamar Jackson just sits out the entire, maybe the second half or close to it, maybe the end of the third quarter and all of the fourth quarter. That would be lovely. That would be lovely.
It's a lot of points.
Hi there,
I'm not even gonna
AKA
hold you.
DLA. Hi,
It's a lot of
Sora. That's a
52.
lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
That's a lot of scoring. But you know what?
I'm not even that disrespectful.
But you know what, Olga? That's probably including at least two picks. A pick
Even
six. That's included. That has to be including one pick six, maybe two, but definitely two picks and at least one pick six. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 34-28. I just don't want it to be super close. I don't want it to be, I don't want, yeah. David, hey, David Hunt, 54-21. Of course he's going to say that because he's a Patriots fan, but now he's rooting for our Ravens, of course. So he wants us,
oh,
don't worry, David, we are going to take care of your division rival because he knows better than anybody else how awful some, not all, some of the Bills fans can be.
well, David knows the reference that I just made very, very well. Very, very well.
Nightmare